Hey guys, this is Robert with the Robert and Frank Show, and I am here for my daily Reddit rant. Now, if you haven't seen one, I'm sorry. It's been kind of busy. I've been hot. My air conditioner went out, so my house is really hot. So I haven't really tried recording too much. But I saw something right now in the news, and I was like, wait, stop. Like, really? It was this guy. His name is Nick Olivas. Now, the reason I bring it up is because he's actually in the USA Today. It's a story about him, and it's a story about him having, or owing back child support. Now, if you've already heard the story, you know what I'm talking about. But basically, what it is that this guy, he was a victim of statutory rape. Now, in Arizona, the state law is any child under 15 cannot legally consent for any reason. Period. You know, if you have sex with a child under 15, it's totally illegal. It's statutory rape, right? Now, he ended up having sex with a 20-year-old woman. Now, apparently, this woman filed for support, and they ended up finding him. Now, you think about it. He had a kid. He was, let's see, where does it say? He became a father at 14 years old. Now, that is young. That's outright statutory rape. That's a crime. You look at it and it's like, why is he liable? I mean, I understand that the state wants to make sure that this child is provided for, but the parent of the child was a victim of a crime. We're talking not even just a simple crime, it's there's a lot of stuff to go into that in statutory rape, the fact that he had sex, the fact that it is psychological issues, he didn't know at the time that it was a crime, but he ends up finding out because they start basically going after him because he's, a lot of people look at it as like he's a deadbeat dad because he now has to pay child support, but it's like, no, why should he have to pay child support? If he wants to be part of the child's life, if he wants to be there and be helpful and contribute, that's one thing, because now at this point he's an adult. He's 24 years old now and has the mental capacity, and not saying that he had no mental he didn't have enough capacity then. I'm saying now that he is an adult, he has his full mental capabilities to understand the repercussions of having a child. Now should be the time where if he would like, he should be able to participate in the child's life. Even at 15 or 18, whatever, at some point he should have been given the choice instead of the state going after him and saying, hey, well, you know what? You all owe all this back child support because of the fact that you had a child. And it's like, but he was a victim. I mean, how can you look at that and be like, well, you still have to pay? It's like, guys, someone in the government, open your eyes. I'm sorry, I don't agree with this. If he makes a conscious decision to pay it, great for him. If he makes the conscious decision that, he wants to be a part of the child's life and he feels he's responsible and he just wants to pay the child support, good, fine, great. But it hurts. The state law says that that $903 of your monthly income is for you for paying rent and whatnot, and everything after that, it's up for child support. And they can garnish it. They can take a certain amount, and it's like, oh man, dude. I feel bad for the guy, I really do. I found this on Reddit. I was like, okay, something's wrong here. It's a situation. It's a terrible situation in terms of how it originally started. He's a young guy. His hormones are racing. He wants to be the cool kid. He wants to do things. And hey, you know what? He had sex and he did a great job because apparently he had a kid. great that that he was able to experience it, but that's not the point of this entire this. I mean, if as a consenting adult, there's two consenting adults, you have a child, then there is, I believe and I feel, the foundation for liability for child support, because you knew what was happening. You knew going in that there was a possibility of you having a child, and regardless of whether or not you decided, you pulled out, you wore a condom, that she was on birth control, regardless, the point is always going to stand that if she has a child and you're both adults, you should pay. Yes, I agree with that wholeheartedly, because at that point you both understood the implications of what could happen. You guys want to have fun? Go ahead. Just know that if she gets pregnant, you are liable. You did the deed. Simple as that. With adults, kids, I don't agree with it. I feel like in the end, although yes, the child is going to be supported, it comes back to the fact that he was the victim in the first place. He shouldn't have to be, having to worry about getting his paychecks garnished because of the fact that it wasn't a mistake. To him, it was perfectly fine. The mistake wasn't his. The mistake was the mother's. The girl who decided, you know what, I'm gonna have sex with a child that's 6 years younger than me. 6 years. I mean, he was he in 8th grade at that point? I mean, an 8th grader. 8th, 9th graders, all you think about, is girls, and you have these fun thoughts, but you don't really look into the implications of what's going to happen after. You don't understand as a child in grade school, hey, this could happen. I can become a parent. Of course, she's not the youngest person, by far. I'm sure he's not the youngest person that's ever had a child. I think that the youngest I've heard is like 12 years old. The kids had a kid. These two kids had sex, and the girl got pregnant. World's youngest grandma, like 20 something. It's crazy. I mean, it happens. I understand it. I just think it's like, why do you have to ruin this guy's life now? Because in the end, that's all that happens. You're making the young girl's life a little bit better by ruining someone else's life in a way that it had nothing to do with their choice. They never had a choice. They never had the ability to say no. All he thought was, I want to play. I want to have fun. I want to do this. I want to pretend that I'm a grown up. And yeah, it's just, I mean, it in the article it says, I got it of course from Reddit, but it's from USA Today, and says he freaked out when he first heard that he had a kid. When he first realized, hey, I'm a dad. Hell, I had that reaction when I had my first son. My first son was like, I was ecstatic. I was happy. I was freaked the hell out because, you bring a kid home, it's a huge responsibility, but I did it knowingly. I did it willingly. I wanted to have the kid. Now you turn around and say a 14-year-old. Where were you as a 14-year-old? Tell me. I mean, you were in grade school, maybe having fun, flirting with the little girl that, the holding her hand, maybe giving a hug, a peck on the cheek, but in no way did you ever really plan on consummating and having sex and kids, and that is so far beyond the scope of a normal 14-year-old that they're not going to comprehend. I mean, that's the entire point of the age of statutory rape. You are potentially damaging this child. And for what? For the older person to have a little bit of sex? Dude, there's so many other people that are willing to have sex. If all you want to do is have fun, get your get your rocks off, have fun, go somewhere else. You're 20 years old. Go pick up someone at Starbucks, dude. In some states, the legal age for drinking is 18. Go to a bar if that's the case. But don't turn around, and say, oh well, I'm gonna have sex with this kid. He's a little cute, but he's a lot younger than me. He's almost 1/4 of your years younger. That's all. That's a huge difference when it comes to kids. 2 years is a huge development shift. So the fact that as a 20-year-old, this girl decided, hey, I want to have sex with this 14-year-old and have fun. It upsets me. And then he owes $15,000 in back child support and medical bills, plus 10% interest. So he owes $16,500 as of when they posted this, and the active information that they had at that point. I mean, yeah, that's jacked up. He should not have to be worrying about this as an adult for something that was, yes, I guess you can say a mistake on his part, but he didn't understand the scope and potential consequences of his action. I'm sorry. Even if he could have seemed like he could act like an adult and he had the demeanor of an adult, doesn't mean he did in reality. He could have faked it. He could have, I don't even know how else to put it. I mean, I don't agree that he should have to pay mandatory child support when he was a victim. It's just like that there's stupid law in states where if a burglar comes into your home and they hurt themselves, a burglar, now you as the homeowner now are a victim of a crime. You as a homeowner, you come home and you find out, holy crap, someone broke into my house. There's a trail of blood. What's going on? And you hear that, you see that, and it's like, oh my God, what happened? And then you find out that you're getting sued because the burglar that went into your house hurt himself. Wait, regardless of what he did, he is the one that broke into your house. He is the one that decided, I'm going to try to commit a crime. Anything that happened is all on his liability, not yours. You should not have to worry about someone getting hurt on your property when they were never invited. They're trespassing. They've lost all their rights once they're trespassing in your property. Period. That's my thoughts. Anyway, so you guys know, email me at robert@robertandfrank.com. Questions, issues, anything that you want to see. Feel free. Patreon.com/RobertandFrank. Help us out. $1 helps go a long way. Anything that you can do, we'll always appreciate. Anyway, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.